Welcome to Toffee TV. It is live at 5. We are live everywhere. YouTube, Patreon, the lot. So welcome to the show. The comments are coming in already from people. Mike Barrett says, "Don't think I ever unfollowed someone and then
felt the need to tell them."
What's that in reference to? Sorry. Don't know.
Let us know what that's in reference to, Mike. Liam says, "All right, lads." Hello, Liam. Mark's been waiting all day at his computer for 5 o'clock to send that one. Oh, Mark must have sent us something saying he's unfat. I don't know. Because it isn't fat, I don't know.
Okay.
Strange that Mark has to go to... we've obviously missed something.
Have we missed something here? Have we missed something?
Let's have a look.
I don't know what we've missed.
I'll have a look on here.
Go on, you have a look on there.
Ped, I had to unfollow you on Twitter.
Why?
Because you talk about politics.
So?
I don't know.
That it? Because I talk about politics? Oh, I'm devastated.
It is what it is.
Sorry for having a social consciousness and thinking about more than just football. I apologise for that.
Okay. Who really cares says, "All right, everyone," from Bells Hill. Where are we? Random Upload says, "Evening lads, football is back. Whoop, whoop." Well, it will be this time next week, won't it? That is when it is back. A week to go. On Patreon to get some of these as well. And there you go. Simon says, "Evening all." Good evening, Simon. Gary says, "Howdy." Hello, Gary. Sally says, "Would you rather have lived the life you've had or been a professional footballer but played for Liverpool your whole career?"
Well, what have you played?
I'd rather have played for Liverpool my whole career, being a professional footballer.
See, but this is an interesting one, though, isn't it? Because this is an interesting one because
it's a cracking one. Though.
We've had this before. We've mentioned this before with people who've had careers, and then maybe they've come out the other side of their career, and life hasn't been great for them because for whatever reason. And we know that there's been footballers out there who've maybe fell into crime through, I mean, not through no fault of their own. Clearly their fault is their own, but because they're used to a certain lifestyle, or they've got mortgages on their houses that they haven't quite paid off, or something's changed. I mean, we've seen Lee Hendry on that Harry's Heroes programme, and he said he invested in houses, and when in 2008, when the bust happened, he lost all that money, and that he tried to commit suicide a couple of times, he said. So it is interesting, isn't it? You get to a stage in your life, but you don't know, do you? Literally, the book is not finished till the last day you leave this plane. So you can't sit here and you could be having the time of your life at one stage in your life, and then the next minute you're having a terrible time. But then who's to say that you don't come back from that as well? So it's hard to say, but. It is. Yeah, I wouldn't really want to say publicly if I play for Liverpool, but...
Steve Townsend says, "Andre Gomez is very overrated by our fans. 1 goal, 1 assist since he joined." It's gone off.
He definitely does need to get better than that. Definitely needs to get better than for that.
He's not... I've seen people say he's crap, though. He's certainly not crap. Very, very good.
Real Tour says, "Slave trade is another will horror people aside. Has there ever been a worse statue than the Michael Jackson one outside Craven Cottage?" See, that's an interesting. Did they take that down?
I don't know.
Because that's.
I don't know.
That's.
Nothing's ever been proven.
Oh no, I know. That's what I was just. No, but that's what I was just about to say. That's what I was just about to say. Is that?
I like carrot.
I was just about to say that it's difficult when people think something, but it isn't necessarily proved. Do you know what's a dead interesting?
Hello, Ryan and Ellie.
I was talking to my missus last night about this. And I was saying about all these statues, right? And whatever your opinion is of these statues or these named things, that's up to you. But one of the things that some people in Bristol were saying was, this fella did loads of good with his money, right? The way he raised his money was horrendous. And it got me thinking, because I was watching the Lance Armstrong documentary.
Okay.
2-parter, 30 for 30. It was on BT over here, ESPN. And one of the things he says in it, and I thought it was quite interesting, was, he was like, and someone came on, like a woman
Alfie boy, yes.
who had cancer, she said, because he was saying and he said, that was not a front for me. He said, that's something I started after I was ill, and I wanted to do something because I realised that there was, money wasn't there, and I had a chance to do something good, so I did it. He said, it wasn't like a front. And this woman came on and she said, I got cancer, and I looked at Lance Armstrong's story, and it gave me strength, and I beat cancer because of that. And Live Strong's still out there, and it's still making a lot of money. Not for him, because he, I know he got a lot out of it. But he said Nike came to him and they were like, "Can we wait? What do you reckon we make these yellow armbands?" And he was like, "That sounds mad." He went, "No," and he said the money they made was incredible for the charity.
That's good though, isn't it?
No, but this is the thing I took from it, which I thought was really weird, which is really weird the way you look at people, the way people view things is, he's someone, and it showed that in this, he's very conscious when he goes public places, and his son doesn't really say what his second name is, he just does stuff off his own back. Not that he doesn't like his dad, but he's obviously just doesn't want to get into any confrontations. But I thought, isn't it that interesting that he did raise millions and millions and millions of dollars for cancer charities. And yet people have got this terrible view of him. And he didn't kill anyone. He didn't hurt anybody. He cheated in sport. I know that's a terrible thing. And again, if you watch all the stuff on this, everyone cheated in cycling, but that doesn't make it right. But it's weird, isn't it, that he is someone that people have just gone, you are terrible, you are despicable. And no one ever looks at the positive things he's ever done. And it's just funny that people, when I was listening over the last few days about like these statues, and people are like, well, there's a reason they put these statues up, because that person gave loads of money, the one in Bristol, he gave loads of money to Bristol, and he gave loads of money to the schools, and he gave loads of money to this. And I know his money... No, I know, that's what I'm saying. I know his money come from a terrible, terrible place. But I'm just saying that it's weird the way people can find get out for those kind of people, but someone like Lance Armstrong, who ultimately cheated in sport, he didn't, and that's
I still find his story incredible, regardless of whether he cheated. He come back from cancer like so many times,
all over his body,
berserk, and just clean, and anyone who, like, the line in dodgeball is still brilliant, whether or not.
Minshall there says cheating at sports and slave trading is uncomparable, and that's my point. That's what I'm trying to say. Is that some people will make excuses for these despicable people, these slave traders. Yet when I was watching that Lance Armstrong thing, I was thinking he's universally hated, and there's no one ever. No, I know. No one ever says, but look at the money he raised for charity. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's dead weird the way as human beings that's what we do. We hold certain people up to, like, I know what I think it is with someone like him though is.
Well, yes. The address is on the website. The email.
Do you know what I think it's for someone like him is?
Just before it goes, yeah.
Is because, number one, it was in our lifetime, but number two, we built that person up, and then it came out that it was a cheat, so it was like he let us down, and also he sort of made a fool of people as well. I just thought it was a really interesting sort of thing on it. Anyway,
it is massively interesting. Hayley, Delph and Dean are fit. I don't know about Sigurdsson. I haven't seen much of him I haven't heard, but that doesn't mean he isn't. But Delph and Dean have been training. So there you go. Right, where are we? Simon says, think it was great the team have decided to take a pay cut voluntary. Well, deferral. They did it the right way. Wait till the worst is over, then look at what they can do to help. Josh says, all right, Josh, you were excellent on the Patrons Forum. Paul Callow says, my first live of 5 as a patron.
Yes, right, Paul.
Yes, right, Paul, lad. Adam says, hey guys, get some pedwork, some magic to get the power back. Also, Sky Sports are reporting that Theo Walcott will miss the Premier League restart.
He will. He's out for 4 weeks.
Abdominal surgery. What's your thoughts? As it seems we've got quite a few injuries mounting up before the restart. We have had a few injuries. It's hard to say whether these injuries would have happened no matter what, isn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, people will look at it and go, this is a joke and all that, but I'm sure some other clubs have had some injuries. But what if we were just starting pre-season and had these injuries? It's just the way it is.
It's not good. And it's hard to know what's exactly going on.
Hang on, Andy Rogers, Baz, why do you rate Arteta? Because he wanted to leave us with a better team in Arsenal. Surely anyone would swap Everton for Arsenal and swap Liverpool for London. Basic common sense. Why? Why would you want to swap Liverpool for London?
Yeah, I mean...
And why would you want to swap? It's not the fact he wanted to leave us to go to Arsenal. It was the way he went about it. Why do people love him? Why do you love him, Andy, if you do?
Yeah.
What did he actually do that made you love him?
Nick, the Andre the Giant documentary is amazing. The footy show before, it went off because for some reason my laptop wasn't charging, so therefore as the power went down, it started to eat into the show. So it wasn't the internet, it was just, don't know what it was actually, it was just the lead was plugged in for some reason, it wasn't charging. It's charging now because I can see it there, but apologies for that before. You only missed us talking about the Merseyside derby and stuff, so...
Yeah. Richard Folks has great stuff from players and staff with regards to wage cuts and very shuttle too. Thinking, I don't know what that means. I see we are showing all Rom's goals. We tried to get them back.
I just seen that.
We couldn't afford them, mate. Let's be perfectly honest. Joe Escott says, evening lads. Connor says, hi lads, hope all is well. Since Zuma and Barkley have been put up for sale, would you like to see them at Everton again?
No. Zuma, what I would say on Zuma is, if we could get him on loan, I'd probably take him on loan.
Yeah.
Because I think
we'd be taking anyone.
I think what you heard yesterday from what Professor Denise Barrett-Baxendale said, OBE. Is she OBE or MBE? I don't know.
Something.
She's at BE. Is there isn't loads of money about. There just isn't a lot of money about, and the simple fact is, because there's no, that tells you that we probably won't be doing a lot of business, sadly. So I think all these rumours of 30 million here or 25 million there or 40 million there, I just don't think it's going to happen. And I think we all have to just adapt to that right now instead of, and listen, put our hands up. We daily contribute to this with talk of rumours and stuff.
Yeah, but that's all they are. We do.
No, I know, and we do specify that, but we do that, and because the rumours are out there, and there's not much else to talk about. But there will be the next next few days. But I think we all have to get used to the fact that Liverpool thought they had the German kid sewn up, Werner, yeah, and he's going to Chelsea instead, and that just shows you where the market is. Clubs, and I listen to Man City had their appeal today, and who's to say whether, if that appeal comes back in City's favour, whether that will open the doors for a few clubs. Not saying it will for us, but it might open the doors where the owner goes, well, we can open the checkbook now. We're not missing out on that person. Who's to say if FFP was kicked down the road, that Michele might just say, you know what, you want Gabriel, I'll give you the money for Gabriel, interest-free loan, whatever. But at the moment, that just can't happen with FFP. And, there's the clubs haven't been making money for the last 2 months, and certainly people won't be going in the stadiums for the next 6 to 8 months, let's say. That's the way they've got to look at it. So I think if we all get it in our heads that we're not buying players, right? We might not saying we're not going to get players, but I don't think we'll be buying players. So whether they be, so if we got Sidibe for another year on loan, if we got Zuma in on loan, if we got a free transfer here or a swap there, then football clubs are going to have to be creative. I think anyway. So,
hello Cam, by the way.
King Arthur, just said all the Beatles lived down south. Well, they did, because in them days They had to live in London. And then soon as they got a chance to move to America, they all moved to America. That's life, isn't it? Liverpool's a very different place. Liverpool is an amazing place now, an absolutely amazing place. And to be fair, a lot of people who move to Everton and Liverpool, they don't live in Liverpool. They live in Cheshire, in the leafy suburbs of Manchester and all these places where the houses are worth more than they are.
My sister-in-law lives in London. I've been to London a million times. I wouldn't live down there for a big clock. I just don't like it.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course you can.
Why would you want a big clock?
Don't know, just in case of need at the time. I know you don't agree with time.
No, I'm not. Listen, time is my
a big clock, a big gold clock.
Time is my personal preference, right? Yours is.
Andy Rodgers, I've answered your question about 6 times.
Yeah, I think he's just.
I think you're a Liverpool fan.
I think he's just looking for something that isn't there.
Yeah.
Midland. I wouldn't have gave Midlands as better than
I
London.
don't know.
I wouldn't go that far.
Part of it that I love.
No, I'm not saying there isn't.
Well better, mate.
I'm not saying there isn't.
Well better. Paul Cattle says, afternoon, lads and fellow Blues. Joe says, is Gomez actually injured? He has been a slight injury. He's back in training next week. He's saying the club have said Walcott is, but nothing official with Gomez will. I nearly said the circle of trust, but YouTuber here as well.
Joe Cody says, what are you more excited for?
Go on.
The derby or The Last of Us 2?
Last of Us 2.
I'm not being funny, Joe. I'm more excited for the world being like The Last of Us than the Merseyside derby. I'll be honest with you, mate. I could put up with groups of zombies and militia roaming the landscape than I am to that Merseyside derby or any Merseyside derby. I'd honestly rather be in an Ellie's team than anything else. So, no. I mean, look, I've got my Last of Us t-shirt on. Amazing. QWERTY, what a place. Got a Red Dead t-shirt off them as well. Finished Red Dead last week. Oh, emotional ups and downs. And that's Red Dead 1, by the way, which I'd never completed. I also completed Spider-Man last night as well.
I completed The Last of Us, which I'd never done. It got to near the end and just stopped playing it for some reason, but I completed it. It was good. Stuart Thompson says, if it's true about Zuma and Barkley, I'd take them if the price was good. I just don't think we've got the money to take either of them, to be honest. Sally Cinnamon said, I know we hate them lot, but who was better, Gerrard or Lampard?
I think Gerrard was better, personally.
Lampard was a fantastic goal scorer and midfield player, absolutely outstanding. But Gerrard was an incredible footballer, whether we hated him or we didn't.
Lampard was just a Tory Kale.
Eric says Sidderby in right midfield against Liverpool.
I'd play with Charlison there.
I would play Richie out wide. PB, yes, very excited for the PS5 reveal tomorrow. Paul Cooper's been saying for months that the medical department isn't up to standard. Walcott and Gomez now, absolute joke.
Did the medical department go round like punching people and kicking them?
Listen, Gomez is a slight injury and he's back in training next week. Walcott has got an abdominal strain. Easy for you to say. That was causing him an issue, and the medical departments have seen it and dealt with it. I just don't. Listen, I'm not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor,
so I don't know. But Baz, would you live in, this is from Glenn Watson, central London for 1 year for a lifetime supply of vanilla ice cream and a big clock? I don't like vanilla ice cream. Dulce de leche, possibly. Don't you like vanilla ice cream, but then just add things to it, like chocolate sauce? No? Okay, it's fine. That's personal. No, I'm just saying.
It's a personal thing.
Really.
It's a personal thing.
I watched White Lines, by the way, on Netflix. Really good. Same fella who done Money Heist.
What's that got to do with vanilla?
Just coming to me head then.
Okay. Now I'm having weird thoughts about what you do with vanilla.
Well, no, because I had an ice cream Mars bar last night when I was watching it. And that
you didn't?
Did. 139 calories. Outstanding. Where are we up to? Where are we? When it comes to time travel, do you subscribe to the grandfather paradox? That's from Paul Callow. I don't know what that is. What is it?
Isn't that something to do with you can't go back in time because basically you'd
it'd mess
it all up?
Would it?
I like Paul. I like the theory in Avengers. I like that way of time traveling because what they say in that is if you go back in time, then that becomes your future. So how can you have gone back in time? And what they say is that every time you change something in the past, you create a separate parallel universe.
All right.
Where the thing, because if you think about it, the thing's already happened. So how could you change something that's already happened? So therefore, all you would do is start a new timeline, and there'll be multiple timelines, and that will be like like a sliding doors kind of situation, basically.
Oh, yeah.
So I like that one. It makes more sense. The idea that someone could go back in time and could change things, because it's like Bill and Ted, they get it right, don't they? Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Yeah.
When they're like, well, if we're going to do it, then we've already done it. So then surely the keys will just appear in my hand, or whatever it is. So surely, if you could go back in time, you will have gone back in time. So you'll have already changed. So whatever the thing you've changed is the thing now. Makes sense to me.
I agree. I concur. Stuart Thompson says Purple Jamie chose to play for the Pool. Personally, I think he should have become a cleaner. That Redknapp, is it? Keith Powell says, hello, lads and fellow patrons from Amsterdam. He also says, do you think Raheem Sterling is now going over the top, saying that the only disease we're suffering from is racism? I think he's had this saying, should be left to the others now.
No, because that's his right, isn't it?
I don't know whether it's the only disease, because obviously we're still in the middle of a pandemic, but it's...
there's a lot of diseases out there anyway, but I think what he's doing is, I think what he's trying to say is, he's trying to say that illness will come and go, and obviously we're in a pandemic, but this is the thing that people need to focus on. I find it very hard to talk about what someone should or shouldn't be doing when I've never walked a step in their shoes. I like, you know what I mean? It's very easy for people to say this set of people should be doing this or should be doing that. It's like you've never had to live a day in their shoes. You don't know what it's like. You don't know whether it's, you know, how horrible their lives have been just because of the colour of their skin or their sexual orientation or whatever. You've got no idea. You're coming from your perspective of thinking that, oh well, come on, this is getting stupid now, or because he's rich. Well, you know, these people. Listen, I'm a white male. I have zero problems. I've never had to walk down a road fearing for my life because of the colour of my skin, or worried about being pulled over by the police for the colour of my skin. And then certainly somewhere in America, then worrying about what what could happen if I don't do everything to the letter of the law. And even with that, we've seen if you do things by the letter of the law, you could end up like that poor man did a couple of weeks ago because of the colour of your skin. So I can't hold any judgment on any person who is different from me into, you know, because of what they've had to go through in their life. And I don't think anyone else should either. But then, listen, that's up to you.
Daniel Lynch says, realistically, how far off do you think Everton are from competing for the league title? Years away. Listen, the way I look at it, and it might be unrealistic to do it, right, is I look at how Liverpool have done it. And they've gone, within 4 years, they've gone from being a team that was 8th and nonsense with Ricky Lambert up front to waltzing the way to the league title this year. And they've done that because they've stepped it up stage by stage and they've done it correctly. And so that gives me hope that it can be done. You can either have that or you can have Leicester, who just come from left field and sort of like everyone else fell over and they ran through. But we are miles away.
I once made a statement. It was a public statement.
No, it wasn't.
That I didn't think Everton would win another trophy in my lifetime.
Okay.
And I'll be honest with people out there, I've seen nothing that changes my mind on that. I really hope it does, but Everton to me are just perpetually never in the right place at the right time. You know, you look at this summer, everything was in place for us to buy players, and you know, we're waiting on the planning permission, and something just comes up and does something.
We do need some sort of exorcism.
Yeah, no,
we do, seriously.
It's like there's always seems to be something that gets in our way. And you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's sometimes sometimes our own fault. We get a little bit of money, and we've got a clean bill of health because we haven't spent much money, and we peer up the wall because of really bad decisions. It is what it is.
It's just difficult.
Enjoy.
You've got to have that faith, though. You've got to believe.
No,
you've got to. Otherwise, you just what's the point?
Well, no, there's always a point, isn't it? Because like, it's just a case of getting on with life, isn't it? Like it's.
No, but you've got to believe. Do you not believe that Everton will progress and win something?
I don't.
See, I do.
I don't.
Because if I genuinely didn't think we could progress and win something, I'd stop watching.
No, I honestly don't think we will. I honestly think we'll be what we are for the rest of my life. But it doesn't. That's
depressing.
But it isn't. That's not depressing to me though. Like I don't know whether it's just me. Like I don't have these like. I've never thought I was going to be a millionaire. I never thought I was going to have an amazing...
Got that one right.
No, but I've never thought I was going to have an amazing career. I never thought... As long as I was, like, happy and content, they were the first things I was striving...
No, well, that's right.
No, I know, and I am sort of... And I know it's completely wrong, maybe, to think like this, but I'm not saying I'm content with life as it is for Everton, but I've come to a stage in my life where I've just accepted what they are. I want them to be better, of course I do, and I want us to win things, of course we do. But what I'm trying my best is, what I've done for a long time is not let that thing, and I'm, you know, you'll say probably it won't for you, but I feel like people have that thing where it's like, because they want us to win stuff so much, that that everything else can't be enjoyed. Whereas I think that you've got to enjoy it and enjoy the little things, and if you go to the match and you go to an away game, enjoy it. And it is difficult, and I don't always feel like that, don't get me wrong, but I am not sitting here thinking if we don't win something life will be terrible, because my expectations is that if we do win stuff, it won't be loads, and I don't ever see us being the winning the league or winning the Champions League. I'm just like, do you know what? It's my club, and we'll see what happens. But I certainly can't sit here thinking, I'd say not thinking, oh, we're going to be amazing, because I truly don't see any evidence that we are.
There's no evidence for any team.
No, I know.
Man City would going nowhere.
I know,
and now they're the best team.
I also no, I know. And on the flip side of that, though, it's not. I don't have that thing of like, oh, it could happen. Of course, it could happen. But I'm not relying on it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not relying on it happen. I'm just watching my team.
No, I know, but I'm not saying I rely on it. But what I'm saying is that the thing that keeps me focused is the dream that we will get back to that. I've seen us go from, all right, I was a kid, but we went from nothing. We spoke to Derek Manfield this week. 16 months before we won the league, we were 16th in the league.
No,
4 months before we won the FA Cup, we were 16th. We couldn't score a goal, and that team just went bing. And the next minute, things followed, and okay, it fell apart a little bit. When Joe Royle won the FA Cup, we started in November. We were down, and we ended up winning the cup. So you'd have to look. I know football changes, but it doesn't really. It's about building for the right. Someone just said there, Ian, I think it was, said every team is only 3 years away from winning the league if you do it right.
No, listen, you're absolutely right, and I'm not disagreeing with that. That's not the point I'm disagreeing with. It's not that I don't believe they can, it's just that I don't hang my hat on it. I'm just quite content. I am and I'm not. But I look at my own situation, and I think to myself, and I'm not saying you are doing this, by the way, but I do feel like some people pin all their hopes and dreams on, like, Everton winning something. And I just think, if you to take...
You know that I don't.
No, I know you don't, because we're too old for that, but I just think if you take that away and you go, well, imagine if you've got a good life and then Everton do go and win something, imagine how good it'll be. And that's sort of where I've got myself.
Yeah, listen, for some people, and we know a few people, Everton is their life. Do you know what I mean? Everton is the thing that they absolutely live for every week. I don't, it's not, Everton are a massive part of my life and always have been. But my wife and my family and my mates are more important than Everton to me. Now, to some people, they're not. Everton are the most important thing. And that's sound. I get it. But I still watch every minute that Everton play.
The irony is with that, so the irony of what you just said, though, is funny for me, is that all those things are Everton. Job's Everton.
No, I know.
No, wife.
Yeah.
Evertonian
Yeah,
that I met
yeah.
because she got an Everton tattoo.
Yeah.
All me mates, or people I go to match with, I sit next to my sister when I go to match. You know, it's just like, I'm not saying the Reds have been pushed because my best mate is a Red, but I don't really see him that much socially because all my social interactions are about Everton. So most of my life is about Everton, funny enough. And maybe, I don't know, maybe that's why. Maybe I've separated the two things. And I think that's, I don't know whether that's a healthier way to be. I really don't. Or that's, some people will say I'm probably not, you know, I should have faith. I don't really have much faith in anything. I'm not a person who puts faith in
William
anything.
thinks I could still do a job for him at Grimsby.
I listen, there's no reason.
I think I could.
There's no reason.
Play a manager, 5 minutes at the end of the game. No, I just look at it. Listen, I absolutely love Everton. You know, it's my job. I go home and I'm thinking about them, and me lads absolutely Everton mad, and I look at them and think I don't know whether to just make you the City fan. But then you just think,
but that's the thing, though, isn't it? That's the thing. You could go right here, right now. Oh, my son. I'm not gonna burden you with that responsibility of being an Evertonian, and I'm gonna make you're gonna be a City fan, and City, because City are gonna get everything and they're gonna win everything, and then what happens in 3 years? Suddenly, Everton are the next bit up. Maybe not even Everton. Somebody else is the new.
As if I had to be able.
No, I know, but what I mean is though,
it is.
That's the thing with football, isn't it?
It is.
People who latch onto teams because at that moment they were successful. It ain't gonna last.
It's circles, isn't it? It's cycles.
How many cry-ass kids out there now are like, it's terrible that I became a Man United fan because they were successful when they become a fan, so it's easy to latch on to them. And that's the point, isn't it? It's about the good times and the bad times. It's like,
well, but that's what keeps me going.
No,
I know that we will have good times.
The difference is though, I
before.
don't necessarily believe that we will have good times, but I have good times because of the club.
Oh, that's good. That's really good, right? Stepping away from that is good, to separate it and go, well, I'm all right with that. I'm okay with that. And I get it. Do you know what I mean? That's what you should do. At the end of the day, I think that's what I started to say at the very start of it, right? Was that Everton are important, but they're not the be-all and end-all of life.
And that's why I don't.
And that's
good.
Why I don't. But I still do look and go, I can see us. If we put the right people in place, it isn't... Liverpool have proven, right, that if you actually put the processes in place, you can knock down some barriers on your way, and then it's can you sustain it. Right? Now, the key will be for Liverpool, can they do it once, twice, 3 times? Who knows? But they'll have done it once.
Listen, I absolutely agree with your opinion. It's just...
I like Ian Holloway, by the way, William.
It's just not necessary. It's just not... That's just the way I think.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Where are we? Steve Hardy is walking. He's on day 10 of his 30 days doing 10,000 steps versus arthritis charity because his knees are wrecked, aren't they? He's put a link in there. Any patrons want to donate, do it. Steve, it's a pity he didn't have like a GoFundMe page or something, because that's easy, more shareable. You can have that on Twitter and everywhere. Joe Heskett says, what's your favourite away ground? Mine is a left field one. Mine's Fulham. Because it's like a little...
I've never been. That statue put me off.
Yeah, it's gone, the statue, apparently. It's just like where it is next to the Thames and all that. It's like a weird little... Oh, it's old-fashioned, but it's I don't know, something about it. I mean, I don't know why. Every time I went, I told you, I went 7 out of 8 years, we never scored a goal. Got a few 0-0s and lost the others, but it's one of them grounds I like going to. It's dead compact. Obviously, there's great grounds you've been to and
Yeah,
all of that, but
my
your favourite?
First one was Villa Park. I think Villa Park for years
Villa's
was
a nice ground.
It was always like a semi-final place, wasn't it? But it's difficult because I don't have too many fond memories recently of away games. Although the last away game I went to, Southampton, we did win. Nicest away ground, obviously Switzerland, incredible, incredible scenery.
Where?
Switzerland.
Oh, Switzerland was unbelievable. God, what a place.
Yeah.
It's a mad one.
Wolfsburg.
There's been one positive test in the
Nuremberg.
Premier League latest
Is
thing.
there, yeah?
1,200 tests, one.
How convenient.
One thing.
Smallest ground you've been to with Everton, the one in Switzerland. I mean, it wasn't. It didn't. Even, it had a little thing for the players to get changed in.
We were in the dressing room by mistake, weren't we? We walked in, remember?
Yeah, before the game. Well, a few hours before the game.
Shrewsbury.
I've been
when
to
it was
Shrewsbury.
Gay Meadow.
Well, we've been to both.
Well, we've been to both.
I've been to both.
But Gay Meadow in the FA Cup, that was quite small. That was a good day, despite Nigel Jameson scoring an injury time, which ruined it. But up until
I went
that
for a
point,
pre-season game. Omar Daly.
We went
was on
3-0.
trial.
Rooney play.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
White kit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
Omar
boss. There
Daly.
was so much. There was so much excitement because I think it was Moyes' first full season coming up. Rooney. It was just everyone was just so optimistic, like about the season. It was mad. It was absolutely Celtic Park. I went to see Everton versus Celtic Park. Another trialist.
Celtic is incredible.
Another trialist played that day. The one I messaged you the group about the other day. What was his name?
Delroy. Buckley.
He was on trial. He played.
Jamaican.
I think we drew 1-1.
Delron
I think
Buckley, yeah.
James Beattie might have scored.
Celtic was that's an incredible parkhead.
Although Ibrox was what a friendly.
Lee Ty.
We won 3-2. Alan Stubbs scored and Lee Ty scored and our end.
Rooney got selected off, didn't he?
Because all their fans were like, it was their free season ticket day. They got in,
okay.
so loads turned up, and what a day, what a journey.
Beat them 3-2 twice, didn't we?
Yeah, what a journey. We tried, we were going, it was just mad. We were going on the way home, we were going, we're going to go to Blackpool on the way home, no, we'll just go to town, get home, go home, lads, you know what I mean? It was brilliant.
Shiv says, what do you boys honestly think about Molyneux's away end? Loads of fans bad-mouthed it, but it ain't that the point. The away end, which is the side, isn't it? Been to Molyneux a couple of times, let alone the side.
Never been to Wolves.
Scary place, actually.
Well, it's got Wolves.
It's got Wolves, yeah. I quite liked it. It is weird where it is, like on the side, but when I went, I liked it. Graham Price says, "Hi lads, Walcott's out injured. This could be a great opportunity for Anthony Gordon to get plenty of playing time during the last 9 matches." That's up to him, isn't it? With the 5 subs as well.
There's opportunities.
Richard Folks says...
Go on.
Oh, go on.
I was going to say, Cam said, what's the best movie ever?
Top Gun.
It's a controversial shout, but you know what? Soundtrack and the volleyball scene. I'd have to put it in the top 3.
He's having a date, gets to Kelly McGillis's house, never been in before, goes, think I'm just going to take a shower. Goes in, takes a shower in that house, never been in.
He's confident though.
He's very confident. I mean, she's his teacher, he kisses her. Well, he doesn't, he gets close to kissing her in the lift.
Yeah, fair enough.
She's lost that love and feeling.
Depends what you like, doesn't it? I mean,
belter of a film.
Godfather 2 is highly up there. But
Hassan says, who do you think we can sign realistically before the start of next season? I don't know, is the answer. The financial situation for all Premier League clubs is up in the air. I know what we need, but I don't know whether it'll be realistic or not. I'm not sure. Tashi, what position? I was a centre forward.
I was a centre back, right back, right midfield, centre forward. Played on the left, played left back, played in goal. The only position I didn't ever feel comfortable in was playing centre midfield. Too much to do.
Eugene's saying Juve could ask for Luca Dean and a Rabiot swap.
I mean, they could ask, couldn't he? They could ask.
Could ask for anyone, really.
They could ask, couldn't they?
That's for.
But would we really sacrifice Luca Dean for Rabiot? Would we really do that?
Joe Escott says, speaking about Red Dead, did you ever play L.A. Noire, another Rockstar game?
I didn't.
I didn't.
I didn't, to be honest. I might have a look. I don't know what's on. I'm gonna have a look. I got PS Now on a week's trial because I wanted to play Red Dead because I'd never finished Red Dead.
It is Paul. That's the song. But carry on.
I'd never played it to the end. It's a long story, but I never played it to the end, and I love Red Dead 2. So I got into. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get that trial. So anyway, the trial took a week. I think I finished it a couple of days after the trial took. It's like £9 a month.
Yeah.
So finished it. Then I played The Wolf Amongst Us, which is Boss. And then played Spider-Man, which I'd already played up to a point but never completed because it wasn't my game. I borrowed it off one of the lads in here. I couldn't get past Doc Ock, so I brought it back. So I still had that saved. I'd done that last night. So I might have a little look. Might have a little see what's available for the next one. Basically, I'm just playing till The Last of Us 2 comes out. And then it's all about The Last of Us 2. But it's Boss playing Red Dead 2 and then playing Red Dead 1 makes so much more sense if you do it that way. So much more sense.
Yeah.
I can't even fathom playing it the other way.
I can't wait to do it, to be honest. Hassan says, defo, I agree, but there's a lot of rumours in the media at Mo, isn't it? So don't know what to believe. Definitely.
Someone just said, what's the scariest animal on earth? Human beings. They're the scariest animal on earth.
Okay, Random Upload says, best musical movie, The Greatest Showman.
This is the greatest
Mark Goldbridge
show.
said Ancelotti's the Italian Steve Bruce. Mark Goldbridge doesn't know anything about football. Nothing about it at all. There you go.
Can you think of a bad Rockstar game? I mean, I don't know, because I haven't played. What was that bully like?
That was mad.
Yeah.
I had a couple of going and swerved it. Absolutely swerved it. Robbie Farlow was a blue, went to St. Pat's School. Nugent with him in Wavertree. He was another level even then. He was a blue, hell of a player as well, left foot. Ian Clark says Oliver was the best music. Richard Parr says the Euro 2020 tournament has been added as downloadable content for Pez.
Yeah, it has.
Are you on it? Yes, we are. Where are we? Dennis Cranny says, hi lads, how have you managed to keep every show so topical, informative? Credit to both of you and everyone else involved. Ped, but every year I think this is the one. Just saying.
That's fit. You know what? Right, that is sound. That is sound, and no one that first day when your heart gets broken, then I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I just can't. Stuart keeps on asking this question. Ped on the Lance Armstrong. Sorry, mate. Lance Armstrong, doctor. I thought it was all right. It wasn't amazing. It was a little bit slow at times, and then it'd speed up. It would shoot over some parts that you wanted to know more about, but then go, it was good. A lot of it I'd heard before. He was a bit of a dick, wasn't he? But you'd expect that. But he did say that he wouldn't change a thing because he's quite content with where he is with his life now, and that wouldn't have happened without going through all that. Yeah, I thought it was a decent documentary. I didn't think it was a brilliant one. I think 30s are better when they just tell the story and they don't like. I think when the people who are involved in the story are too much in it, it becomes too. I know this sounds stupid, but it becomes too much about them and their side of things. Whereas sometimes it should be about.
Maybe that was the only way to get.
No, I know, and listen, they do get the other people. It's not like I know people said with the Michael Jordan one, he had too much control of it. It's not like that. It's not like that as such. But it was interesting. A lot of it I already knew. I probably just wanted to know more about why he did it all, like why he felt like he needed to do that. But he'd probably just say, well, everyone was cheating. And it was the only way to do it.
Yeah.
And
Adam Conroy says, would you watch Everton if the worst happened and they were relegated? Yes. Also, if there's a certain level that Everton dropped to, would you stop watching them?
No. I mean, I've already proved in this that I don't think it really matters. For me.
Gary Ward says it seems like Everton are constantly just putting fires out started by the previous management teams because we haven't left anything in long enough, I guess.
But listen, I have faith, and I don't need antidepressants. That's the last thing I need, because I look at Everton on that level. I'm not down here going, oh, we're never going to win anything. I'm actually just like that, because, and that's
Okay.
that. You know what I mean?
I get it.
I think people are misunderstanding. I'm not sitting here depressed, going, oh, it's terrible that Everton. I'm quite the opposite. I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here talking about Everton every single day, without sort of being optimistic. I'm just sitting here going, this is like, it's just like life. It has its ups and downs. I'm not thinking there's going to be a bright horizon tomorrow where everything's going to be amazing. I'm sitting here just going, whatever happens. I'm here. I'm just going along with it.
Shrikar Kandala says, if Everton to win the FA Cup, who do you like to face in the final? Shrewsbury's under 15 with an injury crisis.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Would be the one for
Manchester City's Gerbil 11.
Matthew Jervis.
Because I'm sure they're putting finances through a Gerbil 11. Do you know what I mean?
The one confirmed test today is Richarlison. It's not, but there you go.
Because FIFA's rubbish, Jonathan.
Yeah, every day.
You've had your mind, literally. You've been brainwashed by FIFA.
FIFA's presentation is brilliant.
You've been brainwashed.
And the stadiums look great and all that. But the reality is PES is better. It's better gameplay.
And
that's what you want.
Once you get the downloads.
Once you're in light. Oh, yeah.
Tom Walter said, have you ever played Red Dead Revolver? I've never played Red Dead Revolver. No, that's the original game. Red Dead Revolver.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
And it's like, you know, they've got square heads.
Yeah.
That's the original game, but I'd be dead interested to know whether they'll ever go back to Red Dead with, again, with what happens at the end of the original Red Dead. I'll be dead interested to know what they do next. Because what I find really fascinating is that, fascinated to a point, is that it is all set. What?
Jonathan worked on Red Dead 1.
Oh, amazing.
And ran the test team in Lincoln.
Amazing.
He's worked on 20 Rockstar games.
Oh, have you got any things you can send us, like mugs or anything? What I find brilliant is that they are all set in the same world, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because there's things like in GTA, I think there's a book and it's about John Marsden on one of the shelves and things like that. So it's whether
Crazy, isn't it?
It's whether they can fill that gap, like go from being like, because obviously in Red Dead it's becoming like the normal world now, starting, and obviously we've got GTA which is set in this world. Can they find something? I know people say like LA Noire and things like that, but is there something? Is there a kind of game that they could do in the in between?
Go through the years, couldn't he? I guess.
But it depends. But what genre? What genre?
No, it's how you do it. Now does it?
Because essentially,
Red have to go into like mafia then.
Well, no, because essentially, Red Dead is Grand Theft Auto.
No, it is
just set in
horses,
different worlds.
I wonder if they could go even earlier than Red Dead 2. Could they go back further? I haven't checked the likes, and I'm not going to because it just disappoints me.
Kick01 says, do you think the Everton lineup will play 4-4-2 in the derby? And will they possibly conjure up something different in training? I think they'll go 4-4-2. I imagine, I don't think they're going to break from that, but they're going to have to get a real grip of midfield. They're going to have to get some legs in there, and I don't know how they're going to do that.
Maybe the sensible thing is to play a bit more direct against Liverpool. Try to not have a midfield battle, you know. I mean, the problem is you're giving possession up.
I mean, I feel really bad because someone called Jay Chav has just sent us someone saying Baz is on the chase today, and I'll be honest, if he thinks that looks like you,
I mean, he definitely needs glasses.
I mean, the hair colour, it's not even right. I mean, even if it was just a grey fella with tints of the blackness in there, I'd be like, maybe, but that's poor.
That's embarrassing.
That's poor. From his end, that's poor.
He really does need an eye test there, to be fair, doesn't he?
Should have gone to Specsavers.
Should have. Where are we? Iron brew cans in GTA, says Brian Ferrell. Where are we? Shiv says, would you like a GTA set in the UK, or does this series just suit America and its melodrama?
Yeah, I mean, what would the UK one be?
I quite liked, I'm not going to be able to remember it now. what was it called? The one that was set in London. And you drove around, and it was similar to GTA. I can't remember what it was called.
I know what you mean.
But
The Getaway or something like that.
Yeah, the Getaway. Because I know all of those streets, because obviously my sister-in-law, and it was boss being able to drive around. I know, and you've done this.
I've done this in LA.
In LA. So that was interesting, but I don't know whether it could be quite the same here. No. You'd have to use like the cranes.
We don't have like guns and stuff, do we?
No,
so I drove around LA, and it is loads of Grand Theft Auto 5. It's LA, isn't it? So you're driving around and you do recognise loads of things. I mean, the problem is Nick's put there GTA London. You just get stuck in traffic. You get stuck behind a bus, or the police chase you for a congestion charge.
A congestion charge you'd have to pay every day. I'm just not sure it'd work.
You just get stuck on a bus, or you just go everywhere on the tube. Oh.
Incredible, isn't it? But yeah, the Getaway was a belter. William Harrison thinks Liverpool might come back slow and drop a few points.
But we might come back slow.
Well, I hope. I mean,
stop yawning, you mate. As long as Man City don't come back slow.
Yeah, that's all that really matters.
That's all that really matters.
That's all that matters. Get on control. Now you've got PS.
I will, I'll have a look at that. If anyone, Journey is amazing. If anyone wants to play a game that lasts like 2-3 hours, yet. Oh, it's so chilled and mellow and weird. It's wonderful. Wonderful. Far Cry 5. You're overflowing a cult living on a giant plantation. It's like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but good. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is good. I know you do films for a living, but I'm having umbrage with you there.
Stuart, course, I still stand by Queen. They're incredible. Not the Queen, obviously.
Do you don't stand with the Queen?
GTA Liverpool Chillball 5 race be there for 2 days.
Why? I mean,
at peak times, it is a pain.
If you know how to get around it. I remember Driver on the PS. I had Driver. Chipped, of course, but I had Driver.
Which Driver?
Yeah.
Belter.
Red Dead Undead. Have you played? I've played it a little bit, but not loads, because it's...
That zombie one?
Yeah. No. It's not canon.
It?
And once something isn't canon, I don't really like it.
The original GTA was 2-dimensional.
Yeah. I remember it. Tashi says if Chilwell is rated 50 million, then Dean must be 70.
Agreed. Agreed. A Victorian Red Dead 3, Pippin says. But there's things that he could do that are just before Red Dead 2, or things that happened in Red Dead 2 where people have gone off. They could make it a game about that, couldn't he? Really? You'd have to move away from it.
Do you know what I watched though? I did watch a video of like the timeline. You know, when you watch the timeline, when you're playing the games, obviously you get a perspective of it and you're playing it through without sometimes stopping. But I watched the timeline video, when you finished it, when you get on Red Dead and you play it, and when you play it and you hear this, because also there's loads of stuff that certainly from Red Dead 2 that you might have heard but not pieced together. No, like Blackwater and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you start piecing it. When you piece that story together and what happened and what should have happened and where you should have ended up and why they never went west because they wanted to go to California, why that all fell through, and why they ended up in the snow in the beginning of Red Dead. When you put it all together and someone puts it down to the story is incredible. And there are like things like, why did this happen, that they could maybe... But it's whether they've got any compelling characters to do that.
Mike Barrett, Sadie Adler, Bounty Hilton.
See, actually, though, that's not a bad idea. Because Sadie isn't in Red Dead 2, in Red Dead 1. So you've got
no character as well.
So you've got no idea where Sadie went. So that could be like one of those little, the Uncharted game that's probably still in the wrapper, yeah. That could be almost like that.
But I'm working my way through.
I mean, of course you are, yeah.
James says, hello lads, what would you have as your starting 11 against Liverpool? Also, when can you have guests back in the studio again? Keep up the good work. Of all the ex-players linked with the move back, who would you take back? Jerry, the Rat, Garner or Stones?
Garner.
Probably Garner out of those. Well, I would love Delafeu back, I'm not going to lie. Starting 11 would be, Pickford, probably Coleman, Keane and Holgate, if Mina isn't fit. Dean. I'd have Richarlison, Delph, Gomez, and Bernard, and then I'd have...
Wouldn't have a Wobie.
No, I'd have Bernard because I think he works better with Dean. And then up top, I'd have Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. Calvert-Lewin and Moise Kean.
I would worry about Bernard against their full-backs.
But what about a Wobie, though?
But I think a Wobie would track back.
Yeah.
Because he's got strength and power. Don't know if Bernard...
Yeah, maybe. Maybe Bernard's better if we're still in the game for the last 20, 25 minutes. Possibly.
Tom Walsh says, yeah, a book on GTA 5's character, Franklin Shelf, in the house called Red Dead by Jay Marston. Most likely Jack Marston, John's son, because he expressed desires to become a writer in one part of the Red Dead games. There you go. He did. He was a bit of a gentle soul, wasn't he?
Harry McKenny says, am I the only one who rates Sidibe? Sidibe's good going forward. It's just defensively. He isn't. And that's an issue. But they might have done work with him. They might have done work with him while it's they've been off.
Ellis says Garner or Allen. Garner's Premier League experience, and surely we can't have both. Well, it's come out today saying Garner's got no intention to leave in Paris Saint-Germain.
Why would he? I'd have, out the two, I'd probably have Allen, just to see what he's like. Garner is boss, but
last
I'd want
of
to
Corinthians are saying I'd play Schneiderlin sitting in front of the back four. Well, I don't think Schneiderlin's fit.
He's not fit. Still injured.
We got no players.
Daniel, Holgate probably would.
What, make a great seat?
Yeah.
He probably would.
You know what? And it depends on if they might have to pick an area to strengthen.
Yeah.
And if they do, Holgate could then go into midfield.
Yeah. Eric says the main rockstar creative guy has left them. Did you know? Yes, I did know. Yeah, he left, didn't he? But this happens all the time. The gaming world's a bit mad at the moment because loads of companies have shut down. And because I know that Wolf Amongst Us, they were talking about a sequel, and then that Telltale Games went bust. But a lot of the things, someone else has picked up it now, and they're gonna. It was announced late last year, so someone else is gonna make that now. And I think what the problem is that a lot of these companies are going bust, and then the people who are there, the creative people, are getting together and going away and starting their own new companies and stuff. So there's still a lot of talent out. It's just moving around a bit, like footy, I suppose.
Harry, I've no idea. I don't think the police are going to try to keep people away. I have no idea.
Yeah, there'll be a cordon, won't
there is definitely a cordon, so we'll see what happens.
Paddy says, paired with PS Now, use the download feature streaming games on the PS Now.
Can be not very good.
But I'll be honest with you, mate. I've got Bosch internet, and it's plugged right into the back of me. So it's all right. So it's honestly, what I would say is, I agree with you. When I didn't have it hardwired, and at times it wasn't that it was going off, but you could see the gaming engine moving along.
Yeah.
Where as soon as I went hardwired, sorted.
Fine.
Absolutely sorted.
Stuart wants to know, could Baines be moved into midfield like Lamb? I think that's probably gone now, given his age.
Yeah.
And stuff. But I think he could have done it one time, because technically he was definitely very good. Name one current Prem manager that would have got booted by Everton that's still in the job. Probably loads. Come on. Cloudsley wants to know if you still think Pickford's a terrible goalkeeper.
Well, not. I mean, there's been very little to change my mind otherwise, has there? Because we haven't played 3
You
months.
don't think he's terrible, though, do you?
I don't think he's terrible, but he's at a crossroads in his career. I just think his decision making's horrendous at times. I really do, and I think decision making is what makes a great goalkeeper. And I think if you don't get that nailed down, doesn't matter how good you are. If you make the wrong decision, then the opposition are going to get more chances. So it's up to him, isn't it? It's up to him. Hopefully, if he's focused, then he can be a great goalkeeper. But that's up to him. That's up to him. I just know that before we broke, I was just getting very frustrated in him. Very, very frustrated. King Arthur, I have not read Pat van den Houw's book, but I haven't read any footballers' books really, because I don't really read. I mean, I listen to Ancelotti's
Ancelotti's book's boss. Dennis Adeniran will be involved. I think Benny Benningham is more likely to be playing than Adeniran now, to be honest. I did play This Is Football.
I think I played it with
Wasn't
Paul
bad.
on one of the retro games, I think.
I think it wasn't bad, as far as I remember. But
Do you think the transfer window should be postponed until all the clubs get back on their feet by Sophie? No, I don't think so, Sophie, because I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can limit movements. I just think football clubs are just going to have to be clever about how they... Listen, there's always the haves and the have-nots. That's the football world we live in. But I don't think you can say how, for all we know, a football club could get back on their feet by selling a player, which is traditionally the way they do it anyway. So I think they're gonna need it.
the difficult thing is everyone aren't gonna just stand still for you, are they?
What about players out of contract?
So,
You're
and we need, to be honest, we need it.
Cloud Street says, Ped Bats, have you ever cried at a football game?
At a football game?
Semi-final, I cried.
I cried at the semi when we won. I cried when we won in 95, to be honest, with relief. Because it felt like a lifetime since we'd won a trophy. It was 8 years. It was 8 years since we'd won the league. But I had full-on tears when Jack scored the pen.
And I've cried at a match out for other reasons as well. When I like first game back after, I think someone had passed away, and it just really upset
emotionally
me. That obviously that person wasn't there and things like that. So I think when my sister came back as well, after she'd got over her brain tumour, I think their first game back, I probably cried a little bit as well. It's more than just it's more than just the result, isn't it? As I say, if your life's interweaved into football, you'll find plenty of reasons to get upset.
Haley, I was thinking about this. I don't know whether they'll just do...
There'll be virtual ones,
They might do, yeah, it'll just be a virtual one, yeah, I guess.
That's what they do
like
in Germany.
Zoom meeting, is it?
I think the ones in Germany are just like maybe questions that have been given to the press officer to ask
the question.
I think.
And they answer it, yeah. Jackson, Schreiner, you looking forward to Kenny coming back?
No, not really.
No, I honestly think we'll sell him, Jackson. To be honest, I don't think we'll keep him, but I don't know. Stephen Richardson, yes, we do wish Gary Stevens' son well. Certainly do.
Stuart, is Kenny ready? I mean, no, I don't think he's ready to play.
I think he's been good for Schalke, but I just don't think he's ready for. I don't think he's ready for us. I look at Kenny and I would look at him and think, if he wasn't an Everton player, would anyone really want him? Do you look at him and go, wow, he looks amazing? So, yeah. Paul McDonough says, I cried drinking that Oxo at Goodison, burnt me tongue. Yeah, it's nuclear.
I don't know why anyone would drink Oxo, though. I found that...
It was I had one years ago. In fact, know where I had one? At Shrewsbury, with a pie. But I used to have one at Goodison in the winter when it was freezing cold. Steven Segerberg wants Anthony Gordon to start the derby.
Good on you. Richard Falk says, is Lance Armstrong basically a sports version of Ozymandias from The Watchmen? I mean, Ozymandias wanted to... Well, he basically created a giant squid monster, and then put it into the earth, so all the nations of the earth would fight the monsters instead of having a World War III with each other and nuking each other. So I mean, if you can tie that to Lance Armstrong, and you've got a better imagination than I have. But fair play.
Clousey says, why is the media not focusing on Everton Stadium moving report more? They did with West Ham and Spurs. I think at the end of the day, at the moment, there isn't any news. It's in for planning. I think once that gets passed and we move on to the next phase, I think then it'll be more. Yeah. There'll be more. Crystal Palace are interested in John Joe Kenny. They've got money from Wan-Bissaka. That's what Soph says. Barry, watch Netflix, Murder Mountain, Marijuana Grown. I'll have a look at that. Cheers, mate. Real Trust used to love drinking Oxo, but when it's in veggie, tried drinking hot water and Marmite, would not recommend it. That doesn't sound like you'd
These-
recommend
all
it
these
either.
things just sound weird. Joe Esker says, "Did you ever play Saints Row? The second one is one of my favourite games ever." I never played Saints.
I
Isn't that
did
like
play it. It was
is
a
that
bit-
like a funnier version of
Yeah, like it was like a yeah.
Glenn Watson says, "Who would win in a four-way fatal fight between Lion-O from Thundercats, He-Man, Raphael, or Yogi the Bear?" I think Yogi might lose out just to the virtue that he's got no weapons.
No.
Really, he's got no weapons, so I think that might be a bit of a struggle for him.
I think He-Man.
He-Man would probably take. I think him and Lino would be the fight. I think Raphael's got a lot of good.
He's a good technician.
He's got a lot of good attributes. Very
He's a good
He's a very
technician.
younger young man. But I think it'd become down between Lino and He-Man. But I think He-Man would, by the virtue of the steads.
I think He-Man would have enough to do it. King Arthur, what job would you do if you didn't do this? I'd probably still be in social services, which was very tough. So, yeah. So,
King of the,
what are we doing? Are we doing, what, 5 more minutes, or are we done now?
No, I mean, do 5 more minutes if anyone's got any more questions.
Okay, anyone got anything else before we finish? Waterbound Wallace wants to know the best Batman villain, Ped. The Joker, isn't it?
It's the Joker. Joker's probably the best villain, full stop, mate. I'd say. Because he's just crackers, let's be honest. He's just a bit mad, and he's prepared to do a lot of things. I mean, in one of the story, he breaks his own neck just so Batman gets the blame.
It's dark.
I mean, it's very dark. I mean, that's you're playing the long game there. You're playing the long game there.
You really are. You really are. Eugene McGeever, happy birthday to Carlo Ancelotti. Yeah, it is 61 today. Paul Brown says people in the club don't think Kenny's
He's not.
good
I
enough.
don't think he's good enough. I've watched him a few times, and certainly since coming back from the lockdown. And his goal of the weekend was great, but he doesn't massively impress me.
No, I don't think he improves.
No.
What we've got there. So, Joxan, what's an important sign? We need a central midfield player to make more than any other position. The three we need are a central midfield player, a right winger, and then it's a flip between a right back and a centre back. Probably a centre back, then a right back. But the central midfield player, at least one. I think we need 2 this summer, but we need at least 1. And we need a right winger, definitely. King Arthur, could you ever got into football coaching? No, I don't. It never ever appealed to me, to be honest. I'd gone past the time. I'd done some early coaching badges, and then it didn't really appeal to me. And then there was a period where I thought about it again, and I'd done my degrees in physical education. But no, didn't really appeal to me coaching. Daniel, thank you very much, mate. Much appreciated.
I coached. I got coaching badges, and I coached, and I won a couple of league titles, and I coached kids as well. But ultimately, it's crap, innit? It's not like playing. Someone's just said, "What's the furthest I ever went? Taxi job." I got a job. 6 Chinese people down to London. Very interesting. They were very quiet, very respectful, nice people. And I also got a job, and it was brilliant because it was a package, and it was up to a place called Morpeth, and it was just past Newcastle.
Oh yeah.
And it was a lovely day, and I just drove up there. I was dead chilled out, and on the way back, I drove back through I think it was like Northumberland. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, but it was just a dead chilled out, like drive up and drive back, and I was just making a little bit of money, and it was just dead nice. It was just a lovely, nice drive into a lovely, nice place, somewhere I hadn't been before.
Amazing.
There you go.
Will Cook says the weirdest interaction you've had with a famous person. Greg Wallace stood on my foot, remember that?
In the pub in London?
In the pub in London.
Yeah,
that was weird. That was a bit weird. Where are we? I've just seen one.
Ian Wright nearly run us over with his motorbike.
Ian Wright come through the doors on his motorbike and nearly ran us over. Yeah, that was another strange one. Terry McAllister said if we agreed an extension with Sidibe, I think it was mentioned the other day, didn't it, that they'd agreed the loan would end at the end of the season, similar to what we've done with the likes of Lewis Gibson and people like that.
Yeah, because he's not contracted as such to the club, so he's contracted as a loan. So it's like he might as well just play the rest of the season. So I'm sure he will. Unknown has made a great point. I
don't think we can. I mean, to be honest, I couldn't qualify it. You see, I don't know whether it is or it isn't.
Yeah. Someone just said their thoughts on Sammy. We've done that on the Footy Show daily. So if you're on Patreon, you can watch that. If you're not, it'll be up later.
Joe Heskett says, I agree with you on the positions you need, but I think we need a left-footed player in attack. All our players are right-footed. There you
Glenn
go.
Watson says, no wonder Baz hates London. Wait, I'm thinking of Greg Davis. He's massive.
Where are we? Alan O'Neill says, back at Goodison. You're on. Stu says, why do young players play well in the games they get and given and then disappear?
Because the people that they're generally replacing come back and are better. And that's normally
they
the way.
Play well in some games and then can't sustain that level in training. Because it isn't just about the Saturday, is it? It's about all the week.
Fitness as well, yeah.
The work in
intensity, having it all, giving it all, and all that.
Pros will talk about Monday to Friday players, which is the great in training, and then when it comes to the game, they can't do it. But there's others that aren't very good in training.
Nathaniel says, do any of you play an instrument? No, I don't.
No. Sorry, mate.
Not talented in music.
No.
Random Upload says, could you imagine PS5 reveal GT6 tomorrow? What would you reckon? What would your reaction be? I don't think it's going to be out that for about, I think 2024 they said for Grand Theft 6. So
you said 5 years, didn't you?
Yeah, well that's what they reckon, don't they? 2024.
It's nonsense that.
Anthony says play the banjo. I mean, I haven't got a banjo to play. I'd even if I had one, I'd play it, but I haven't got one, mate. It's not something we have lying around the studio.
No, it isn't, to be fair.
I mean, we have a lot of stuff. I mean, we've got Guitar Hero guitars over there. But again,
but without plugging them
they don't really work. It'd be just like be like whacking plastic, wouldn't it? Which is not a euphemism either. Red Dead will probably be released somewhere between 26 and 28. Well, will it though? Like, what would the story be? What would the story be?
They're on to a winner though, aren't they? Normally when they're on winners, they continue it, don't they? Why did Aid Luchman leave? Game time attitude. Both, but he's not really doing anything for Leipzig either, is he?
Glenn, I honestly, mate, you've just put a list of shoes you want me to walk in, and I
can't
wear trainees, mate, all the time.
Joxan's right, great opportunity for our academy players now. James Vaughan could have done very well
real tours,
if he wouldn't have been injured.
If he wasn't severing arteries in his leg and stuff like that.
And popping a shoulder in a pre-season game at Preston when he just got touched on the elbow. That kind of stuff ruined it. King
Arthur says, will you take a knee? I would have no problem taking a knee. I think the NFL this week have had to backtrack and have looked very, very silly. If people
MLS have backed them, everybody taking a knee.
If people had just listened to Colin Kaepernick at the time, instead of making a big fuss over a piece of cloth and the nonsense they do before NFL games, then I think the world could be a very, very different place. They said he wasn't allowed to protest. Well, he wasn't protesting. And there's a video, and I retweeted it yesterday, and it's a video of when that first happened. I don't know if you've seen this. He sat on the bench, and a guy who was former military said to him, wrote a letter to him, saying, I think you're being disrespectful by sitting on the bench. So he said, let's have a meeting then. So he met up with him and he said, listen, sitting on the bench comes across like you're not asked, like you're just not asked. And he said, listen, in the military, we kneel. When someone dies, we kneel. We kneel in front of their graves, we kneel at their and he said, I think, and this was a former military fella, and he said, I think it's more of a appropriate protest if you kneel when the national anthem on. He said, because that's what we do. And Colin Kaepernick said, you're absolutely right. And he said, and it's this fella who told him, who does the video, and he said, if we could meet and come up with a solution that respected everyone, then why can't the the country do that. But no, NFL decided they didn't want to do that. They wanted to, and they basically got rid of him. And then suddenly people are saying, don't be in the streets protesting, or don't do this and protest. Well, this man had the peaceful protest, and he lost his job because of it. So
there you go. Unknown says we need to get a top midfielder in. We do. That is the key. Random Upload says, thanks for coming on tonight again, lads. Appreciate the content. Always hooked to my Toffee TV fix. Thank you very much. Fabian Delph. Hello, Fab. Hope you're all right, lad. Says, are you guys excited for the Premier League to return or not really bothered?
No.
Yeah, I am. I just want to see Everton play some games again, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of the younger players get some time and see whether they can, can Beningame become a player for us or not, and things like that.
Let me just say this.
Yeah, go on then.
Stephen Dyson, who designed those kits.
Yeah.
Someone's just given him a job. Someone called Toggerware, who make footy kits. I've just given him a job to design kits.
Outstanding.
How boss is that?
That is brilliant.
Well, that's well done to him.
That's absolutely brilliant.
Gary Ward says we could take up the kazoo as a musical instrument.
Yeah, why not?
It's a good one. There you go.
Right.
I think we're done.
The final one has got to be Glenn. Would you rather have feet that were always too cold or hands that were always too warm?
There you go. Hands that were too
warm,
cold. I don't like being too warm.
So feet that would.
Let me just do Patrick's as well. Patrick's just said when they're at NFL games, the services are always actively pushing to sign up people. That's because I always have this argument about it, and I'm not going to make a political thing about it because it's not political. But when you see all the army stuff before games, they pay for that. That's really? Advertising. Okay. That's advertising to try and get people in the military.
Lando, I don't think Michael Keane will last much longer at the club.
Well, he'll last longer now than he would have because we probably would have sold them.
True. Very true. Zorro says, love the show, lads. Keep up the good work. It keeps me going. Superb. Thank you, everyone, for your interaction.
Don't forget, by the way, right, because sometimes I hear people moaning saying, oh, lads, you talk about... on the live shows, you talk about like computer games too much, or you talk about this too much. We're reading questions.
We're just responding.
We're responding, and then if people respond at that. So if you want
more focused lives, come over and be a patron. I've had loads of people today coming on, going, I've just signed up, blah blah blah. It's the cost of a pint or the cost of a coffee.
But also, even if you're watching it and you're like on YouTube and you want us to discuss something. Then
put your question in.
Put the question
football-wise
in, and then we'll talk about it if long as we get to it quick enough. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you if you're on Patreon. We'll see you live tomorrow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Take it easy.
See you later. No struts, no woos, and no anything else.
No. Bit of a strut and a bit of a woo.
Starting woo woo.